Hey, everybody. Listen, welcome into the building. I'm glad to see y'all here. We're going to do this RHOA recap, okay? So I see all of y'all out there. I hope you watched it. And I also hope that y'all enjoyed the show. Listen, I think most of you probably know me from Shereé's World. I just want to say this. We're not going to get into it, but go see her show that she just did. What was the title? I don't know what the title was, but go watch her latest video. There was a show. We had a show over there at Shereé's World. You got to go watch the latest video. Kind of, she talked about, part of one of her stories was about the whole Nene Leakes case and it being dismissed. Go over there, watch the show, like the video. It was a show today, okay? Oh, Barbara, you just watched it? Barbara, they beat me down. I'm bruised. But I'm okay. I didn't have my tea yet. I got to get some tea so I can be better. But I'm glad you saw it, Barbara. Yes, it was a show, though. Yeah, yes, Miss Vicky, the show was heated. It was heated. But you know what? It was a good show, and it was a good conversation. Hey, Sin City, you're here. Thank you. Okay, so the show. Hey, Lisa, the show was heated. Go check it out on Shereé's World. We had a good time. It was a good conversation. You said, Tabitha, you was there. It was too much. It was too much. You know what, though? It's these conversations that we got to have, right? And all the time when you got to have certain conversations, each opposing side, you get passionate. You get passionate about your side. And sometimes the passion, it gets out of control. I'll call it passion, okay? I call it passion, but we definitely had a good show, and it was a very good conversation. Yes, Miss G, it got heated. It got heated over there. But we had a good show. I just didn't get to get my tea in between. I was like, whoa. But anyway, guys, it was a good show. Go over to Shereé's World and watch it. That's my girl. I love her. Yeah, Tabitha, yes. People have to respect other people's opinions, right? I think some other creators said it best, and I don't want to botch up the wording, but they said challenge the conversation, not the person. I think that's what we all have to learn to do, right? Challenge the conversation. And Barbara, no worries. I spoke to Smoke. He good. He just, he wanted to be respectful and kind of just, he didn't want to be disrespectful. That's why he was like, you know what, I gotta go. But our brother Smoke, he's good. So, and he'll be back, for Shereé's show tomorrow. But it was a good show. So when you get an opportunity, go over there and check it out. All right. So let's get into this RHOA, because a lot happened, right? And I'm enjoying this season of RHOA. I think that we are, and I've probably said this so many times, right? That we are so conditioned to the mess that when mess doesn't happen on the highest level, we're like, oh, it was boring. Oh, it was okay. And we want everybody to be rah-rah, but we don't need everybody to be rah-rah, and it could still be a good show. This was a good moment. And I do like at the end how Kandi and Marlo, they made up. So I thought it was a good ending, right? But let's start at the beginning. Now, Ross, Sanya's husband, we got to talk about this, and we got to see how we feel. I did drop the link in case anybody wants to come up, right? So Ross and Sanya, they're still in Jamaica. They're still at the dinner table. and they're kind of wrapping up their dinner, but it ends off. Remember, Ross stood up and he was emotional. He said, you're not going to talk to my wife this way. But what he has to understand as a man, the ladies are going to do what they do. Okay? The ladies are going to get into it. And one thing that the men should do, I think this should be the golden rule on these reality TV shows, that the men do not get in the ladies' business. Now, your wife, she likes to throw and use her words. She likes to get gangster sometimes. She likes to, say she got this. Ross went well. Yes, he did, Gigi. I will agree with you on that. Ross went well, but he was way out of line. Come on now. He was way out of line. Girl talk, back out, buddy. Come on, Gigi. Back out, buddy. He was way out of line, right? It's the woman talking. Your wife throws rocks, so then she's going to get rocks thrown back at her. And she has to catch them, duck them, or whatever. But you can't stand up and block them. And you especially can't block them when you're talking to somebody who doesn't have that man there. Now, do I think when they was doing the little rapping that Kenya was over the top? Do I think this man was going to go crazy and act crazy and be wrong to the ladies like that? No, I do not. Because when he got in the confessional, he said, listen, when my wife is drowning, as a man, I'm going to drown before I let her drown. So I'm going to stand up for her. But bro, stand up for her if you got to buck up against another man. But when it's the ladies, unless they was going to put their hands on her, then you let her handle her business. Hold on one second. Here we go. Hey, Smoke, you in the building. What's going on?
Hey, Diva. Hey, everyone. I'm good. I'm calm. I'm drinking my tea right now, so I'm good.
Good. I'm glad you got your tea. I gotta get mine. I gotta get myself. Make my tea. Hey, Mel, you in the building? What's up?
Hey, Diva. How you doing?
Hey,
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yes. Because of your review last week, I watched The Housewives of Atlanta because I didn't watch before. You remember we talked on Instagram. We were talking.
Yes.
I didn't watch, but I watched this last Sunday episode. That's why I had to watch after the recap. I had to watch it.
Okay. Good. So I'm glad you joined the party. And you joined the party just in time, actually. So I'm glad you joined the party. I'm glad you watched. So Smoke, what are we going to say about Ross and him bucking up at the table because he thought his wife was drowning?
See, this is kind of tough. I agree with the women's business is the women's business. Let them have it out. But I just felt like, to me, Kenya, the way she had been acting on this entire trip, I believe Sanya was really trying to have a good time with everybody. And I'm like, how are you 2 hours late? How are you getting mad that you woke up late and the woman said 9:30 is the time of start? If this was Kenya's event and Sanya was doing this, she would have a big problem and be acting the same way Sanya. So I'm kind of like, I understand why he stood up for Sanya. Sanya was unfortunately drowning. This is like new territory for her to go up against the women, and going up against women this way. But I do agree that Ross, like, just so you know, going forward, like, if you're gonna continue on the show, like do like a Peter and like Greg situation. Like, if he bucks at his wife, you go at the guy, not the girl, the woman kind of thing.
Exactly.
Well, I was
exactly.
I was going to say, unfortunately, Miss Sane was drowning the whole episode because
yes, she was.
we needed her husband at the end, but we're not going to get there yet. But I think that what's happening for me was, I agree what just was said. I agree because I think that as Kandi said, listen, Kenya gave them. When Kandi gave them, looking at her eating some crab cakes, and this saying it took them to Jamaica. Okay, that's right there. So I think that, for me, I don't, see Kandi all the time, but she read Kenya. She was absolutely correct with her
very
read.
well.
That Kenya don't feed her guests, but at least Sanya was feeding the people and getting them a good time.
Yeah.
So Kenya was, she said she's the moment, but that's why she was sort of showing up late to everything, because she wanted to be the moment. I think that what she was coming off was annoying. But again, I listen, I love Kenya, but I think that she was being a little extra. And the girl said something about her friend leaving early. Maybe he didn't do her well, or whatever, because she was a pill. She was a pill this trip.
She was a pill, but
Marlo said that. Marlo said that. Yes.
Your mom, yeah. So here's the thing. Yes, hands down, we got to give it up for Sanya. This is the first trip where I saw so many activities.
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of activities. Whether they like the activities or not is not her problem. but she had a lot of activities. She had a lot of things planned for them, and she fed them.
That's right.
And she gave them food, and it was a beautiful resort. It was an absolutely beautiful resort. So we got to give it up to Sanya. For her to be a newbie, she did a good trip. She really did. Yes. For her to be a newbie. And yes, so Marlo said because day one when they got there, Kenya met this guy, and he wasn't here for the shenanigans when they had an argument at the dinner table day one. I guess he was like, nah, I'm good. And he was a young guy too. And so imagine the young guy was like, I don't want no parts of this shenanigans right here. So Sanya also said that Kenya is whack, okay? Because she called them, she said they were supposed to be the three musketeers. Yes, Abishai, she did do a great job with that trip, right? She said that they were supposed to be the three musketeers, Sanya, Marlo, and Kenya. And she felt like, you're right. It was supposed to be Sanya, and Shereé and Kenya was supposed to be
Sanya, Marlo, Shereé, those three.
Oh, Sanya, but then why was she saying that Kenya was whack? I thought Kenya was okay.
Because of how she acted. I think that's what Sanya was talking about.
Oh, okay, yes, okay. So yeah, she called Kenya whack. So Sanya did a good job planning the trip, but still don't like her lies. Yeah, Sanya's messy. Sonya's messy, but we'll give her credit for the trip. Okay.
She planned the trip very well, but she didn't plan her reads very well. That was the problem.
Right.
She was wide
open. She definitely wasn't ready. She thought she was ready. No. But she got dragged in her own hometown. But we're going to get there, okay? In her own hometown, her own state. Oh, come on. Stop. Yeah, she was messy.
But can I say one thing about the husband? Yeah. I just want to say one thing. I didn't see last week's episode, and I'm coming to this recap as just a person who watched the episode, that happened. So when I watched it, we just came to the part where the husband, got up at the table and he took his wife, and they were on the phone and they were on the beach. And at that time, I didn't watch the episode last week. I thought it was classy in a way. I guess that they came when they came back to the table, Miss Diva. She told them, you know what, tomorrow's gonna be the last day. This is gonna be the events, and there was nothing else said. I said, oh, well, she didn't give another reaction. I enjoyed that part.
You know what? That's a good point, Mel. She did come back and keep it classy. But I think part of her keeping it classy was because her husband messed up a little bit. But that's just me. That's just me. Maybe I could be wrong, right? So Kandi was Team Sanya in this particular situation because she said, listen, Kenya, y'all went somewhere else and had a good time. So what's the big deal? And she said, listen, Sanya was working. And Sanya actually did lose her phone. So she had some very legit reasonings as to why everything went the way that it went, right? And all the men, which I thought was really nice, right? Because Drew tore up her foot while she was there. And so all the men, helped carry her back to, the level ground. And they also helped her back on the bus. So there was some nice moments there that I really liked.
And she made me laugh because she said because she was in the wheelchair being lifted up that she thought she was Beyonce.
I know, Drew.
She had a Beyonce flashback post-dramatic moment. I said, Miss Drew, wait a minute, honey. You sit in the chair looking, come on. You're not Beyonce. You're not even her sister. So I think that
that's a line.
She's a cousin. She's a first cousin, Mel. She's a first cousin.
No, she's a long distance cousin, probably. I mean, no.
Oh my God.
No. She said she was Beyonce in the wheelchair. I said, no, now Beyonce's worst day. Maybe when she was in Destiny Child, the first edition. No. Oh my gosh.
Stella, thank you so much for the super stick. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Sanya is very controlling. Drew was truly enjoying the royal treatment. Yes, she was. Drew is very, she's a little ditzy, but I do like her. And I think she's good for the show, right? She was good. And she said she needed a seatbelt. She thought they was going to drop her. So I thought that was cute. So listen, now we go to this scene here. And you know what? We got to do something about Sheba Shereé. Because Shereé is speaking to, I guess, her coordinator, and I'm very concerned. She's giving me anxiety about this fashion show that has turned into a presentation that has turned into, again, the pieces aren't going to be there, that she can't even
for the third time. For the third time.
For the third time. She can't afford models. She had to change the date because the venue wasn't ready. Only way you had, because the venue had a different venue. So that means you never put your down payment on your date. Because if you would have put your down payment on your date, you wouldn't have had to change no date. Your date would have been on lockdown. So
Amen.
She by Shereé is stressing me out. We're about to, last week we discussed, just taking this trademark name from her and giving it to somebody who can make good use out of it. What did you think about this moment, Smoke, with this She by Shereé?
At this point, any one of us could take She by Shereé and make it like money because I just don't understand why Shereé is just so lazy about her vision. I don't even think it's the fact that she doesn't have money. I think she just is still in that space of I want 7 figures for my divorce, and since that didn't pan out, She by Shereé, but she doesn't have the same, I guess, work ethic as any other lady who's been on Real Housewives and like really like using that to catapult. Because to be honest, if Shereé was smart, she should have focused on She by Shereé like as an activewear, but also she should have been like a fitness like influencer by now. She could have had so much money and have been set for life off of that because she looks like she works out and she has the body to prove it. So I think she's just proving every single time why they let you go, because you just don't do anything with the opportunity.
Well, I will say, I was gonna say, so in her after show, which I watched today, on the show itself, she definitely give physical fit, beautiful body. But I think in the after show, she was definitely giving a little Giselle Bryan with her legs. So I'm not going to go down.
Not the stovepipe legs.
Yeah, I'm not going to go down that road. But because I'm looking at Shereé a little bit sideways, because in that after show, they said that she was the one that set Kenya on Sanya, because Drew was sitting across the table saying that the bone collector, the no fashions person, the sugar mama to Tyrone, Miss Shereé Whitfield, she was talking to Kenya about what Sanya did or did not do. And that was how the whole episode was filled with Kenya looking at Sanya Saba because of Shereé. So that's one thing. But also, I would say to Smoke and to Miss Diva, listen, we could draw She by Shereé on one of our dirty T-shirts if we had the game of her. We would have more fashion than she would at this point. Come on.
I'm trying to tell you, she's messing up. Roya, you have entered the building. What do you want to add to this She by Shereé piece here, this conversation?
Hey, Roya.
Diva, hey, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Roya.
Hi. Hey. Diva, we just need to go on and sell She by Shereé, give it to somebody who's going to use it, because Shereé has just disappointed me to the utmost. I can't take anymore. I can't take no more. What are we doing?
I know we're done with it, right? Now let me tell you this. I did not get to do a video yet, but let me tell you this. I want to say it was the Jasmine brand. They interviewed Tyrone. You got to go watch that interview. You will get a whole nother perspective on Tyrone and this whole debacle of him leaving her astray in Philly at the table there. You get a whole nother side of it.
Really?
I'm telling you, I feel differently about this man. I was going to make a video. I just didn't get a chance to yet. I feel differently about this man, but he's very well educated. He talked about in this interview how he ended up going to jail in the first place, and how he hired this one lawyer that he wished he never hired because of that particular lawyer. That was part of the reason why he went to jail. He says Shereé knew where he was because he was on house arrest, and if she really wanted to come see him, she could have came to the house. Y'all got to see the interview, and we got to talk. And wait, Monique said, hold on one second, Monique said we're going to sell the trademark for half price. You ain't never lied, girl, because it's a whole mess right now with that trademark. Monique, you said yes. So Monique, you saw the interview. I fell in love with Tyrone in that interview. God-fearing, intelligent man. I'm telling y'all guys, go see it. Buy the Jasmine brand. Monique, just correct me if I'm wrong. You will have a whole different view on Tyrone after seeing that interview.
So we saying that she was better off with Tyrone than she is with Martell from Huntsville?
Oh, I'm saying probably 100%. Because from what I got across from that interview, the man I felt like he was telling the truth, right? He said, one, She knew where I was and that I couldn't leave. And if she really wanted to see me, she could have sprung by my house because that's the only place I could have been at, right? He said that he did apologize to us, so I know he's going to apologize at the fashion show because he said he apologized, for hurting her feelings or whatever the case may be. I cannot recap the whole interview because I don't want to mess up and repeat something, incorrectly. But I'm trying to tell you, go see the interview. This man is intelligent. He makes sense. He also said something very important that I wish these rappers would stop pushing this particular narrative. He said jail, he wouldn't wish it on his worst enemy. He wished that people would stop glorifying it. He said it messes with your mind. He is in therapy now. Okay. Go watch the interview, guys. It's a good interview. It really, really is. I'm telling y'all going to think differently about Tyrone. But back to Shereé, 100%. We're about to sell this trademark. She is an absolute hot mess. And I'm nervous because I don't think we're going to see much as She by Shereé, when this fashion show or this presentation comes to light. Okay. So, Marlo is hosting because Sanya had to go do her iFit thing, right? Nobody paid Marlo dust. Okay, they iced Marlo out. I thought it was sad to watch. It was hard to watch, okay, because they was icing Marlo out.
I was see for me in those scenes, Marlo gave me annoying teacher. She was giving me the teacher that nobody was paying attention to. She was like, "Come on, class, let's go, let's do."
Not even the teacher, the substitutes. We wouldn't even put Marlo that high.
Come on now, that's what I'm saying. They just was like they barely wanted to. Yeah, that was And I was like, Sanya, why would you give Marlo? You should have gave it to Kandi. She should have told Kandi.
Or even Shereé.
No,
but Shereé went to see her.
Shereé went to see her late, but we're gonna get there, Smoke. But Sin City, you have entered the building. What would you like to add to this conversation?
I wouldn't have put Shereé in charge. We haven't got She by Shereé. You kidding me? Please. I am not. She could have started her business during C19, even if she just started off making a mask. You know what I'm saying? Yep. She by Shereé's a mask. That would have probably gave her the incentive to keep moving. She is, as Gabor would say, a BSB, a bullshit bitch. She's just not about her business. She's not about her business. And it's really sad because she's the oldest one in the bunch. And she's still an OG, but she don't act like one.
Right.
She does not, nothing. Right?
She brings nothing. And I saw Tyrone's interview. I saved it so I can watch it in its entirety because I was intrigued.
Wasn't you though?
Yes.
Wasn't you though? The man is a man of God. The man speaks very well. Everything that came out his mouth, but he didn't bash Shereé either.
Nope.
Everything that came out his mouth, he talked about his children. He talks about the impact of, when one parent goes to jail, how it impacts an entire family. And then in addition to that, he has some projects coming up and he has a book coming out. Now, listen, I'm going to buy this Tyrone book, but I promise you, it better be good. So when it comes out, I will support. But
now, Diva, have we got enough of buying books that we ain't too sure about now?
I know. But I'm going to try it one more again. Because I'm telling you, go watch the interview on the Jasmine brand. She did an excellent job. And he was very forthcoming, very believable. And you will change your mind on Tyrone after you see that interview. So,
yeah.
Yes, right?
Yeah, you can definitely believe him. I would believe him before Shereé anytime.
Yeah,
I never really fell for Shereé's story. I just
it didn't
just the way
right
it was all unfolding. It just didn't sit right with me. It was giving. I need something to talk about. I need something to give this season. So I'm gonna just do this. I think she intentionally didn't meet up with him. I just feel like it was all a gimmick. Shereé. I mean, what else does Shereé have to talk about? She's not doing She by Shereé. She's not doing anything workout-wise. I mean, I just feel like Shereé has not given us anything since the beginning of She by Shereé. And I'm just tired of TV time being wasted on Shereé because that's what's happening.
And she knew Tyrone would give us more than she giving us. That's why she didn't want him on camera either, I bet.
I think she needed a storyline. And I think by any means necessary, I'm thinking he told her ahead of time, listen, I can't come there. But she didn't want to disappoint production. And so she had a moment. I fell for the moment, guys. I did. I fell for it. And he also said that, listen, she's a reality TV star. You know, she has a role to play. But he said, I don't like that it was being played at my expense.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and he also said something very important. He said he didn't like the narrative because a lot of narratives is when these guys go to jail, they have a female that holds them down while they're in jail. But then when they get out, the guy just leaves them. And so he said, I didn't like that narrative was being pushed either. So he said, I think he said they haven't spoken since he taped that scene, you know, with the fashion show, whatever. But he says, you know, he didn't say anything ill and nasty about her, but he does have a lot of projects coming up. Curves, you're in the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
Good.
What's going on?
Hey, Curve.
Hey, everybody. What's
Hi.
good, Hey Hair Tribe? You know what? This episode was just more of Kenya making fake moments for herself. I'm so done with her. Nobody else sees it. Nobody else is lightheaded from the gas she's pushing. She's always gaslighting people. She's always manufacturing moments. She regurgitates storylines. She's fake. She's contrived. She's been getting divorced for longer than she's been getting married. She needed to get treated completely opposite of the way she was getting treated on Sanya's trip. She needs to be completely opposite of what she wanted on Marlo's trip. And we was on these same YouTube streets a couple weeks arguing about it, about how was she right or wrong for putting on like that at Marlo's trip. And this proves that she was wrong because Ken is wrong. She's just wrong. She doesn't know how to go on anybody's trip, even her own trip. She didn't feed those ladies on the trip. She brought a big old piece of peen and thought they were supposed to eat that all weekend. I don't know. She's not right. And the way she treated Sanya, that wasn't right. I loved when her husband came up and he was like, oh, let me take a note out of Todd's book. The men get to say something here. Well, you guys are not going to on my wife. And he said it so calm, and then she gets all in the.
But he was also shading Todd in that moment too. He's like, not my wife. Not my wife.
He was. Yes, he was. He shaded Todd to the utmost, okay? And it kind of backfired on him because people didn't really like the way he stood up. I think is, you know, they say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So the body language didn't help either. Like you stood up, like what did you
it wasn't in an intimidating or aggressive way. He just stood up like he was about to make a toast. You didn't even know.
But when you stand up,
he was about to get his cup and hit on the side about let me make a cheers or something. You didn't know he was getting up irate, and then when he talked, he didn't yell at the people. He didn't even say anything crazy. He just said,
wait, hold on, Curse. He said something crazy. He said, not my wife. Then he cursed. He could have
did that sitting down.
He didn't cuss her out, and he didn't cuss at her. He used a cuss word in an exclamation kind of way to, get his point across, to the emphasis on what you weren't going to do to his wife.
Come on, Gigi.
But he could have did that sitting down.
Yes, he could have. Come on, City. Yes.
Okay. He could have did that sitting down, and it would have taken, and no one would. The edge would have been off.
Well,
yes, it was. Wait, Tabitha said, "Sit your fine."
Right. I like that he got it.
He's gorgeous. He's gorgeous, but sit down.
Sit down. Why Todd stayed seated is because he's so short. Nobody could tell if he was standing or sitting.
He was standing up. Curves, he was actually standing.
Yeah, let me put that into the conversation. Mark is saying Ross was right. Okay, Mark. Okay.
You see, for me, I didn't see last week's episode. All I saw was this week when he took his wife away. I liked that moment, but I would say this for me too. Kenya's saying I felt threatened. I'm thinking, girl, you listen. The first season you got on that show, you were going toe to toe with all the men on the episode, honey. You were trying to supposedly you was having some flirtation with one of the women's husbands. So I didn't buy Kenya being threatened because Kenya's a very strong woman. And again, I'm in the middle. I don't dislike her.
She likes to throw that word.
She
likes to throw it out loud when people hold her accountable.
Hold on one second. We got a lot of Team Ross in the building. I'm seeing that in the chat. King, don't do that. Don't do that. Curtis is correct with Ross. Don't do that. Don't do Ross. Ross should have stayed out of the ladies' business. That's it. Point blank, period. But I see, he said we seen words from Apollo and Peter. See, we pressing the rewind button right now.
Right.
We're not pressing the rewind button right now. We are staying in the moment.
We've seen words from Michael Darby, honey. Listen, of all the housewives on Bravo, all the husbands on Bravo, he's not the worst. Let's put it that way. We have seen many things.
But that's because he's more of a wife than a husband.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I do have a strong dislike for Kenya. I do have a strong dislike for Kenya, but only because of what she gave me to work with.
Right. She's being messy. We're gonna get to that. But while we're here, guys, because it seems like we're split down the middle, put in the chat, are you Team Ross? Or are you Team the other side? If you're Team Ross, throw it in the chat there. Let's see who is Team Ross on this particular situation. So let me say this. Let's bring into, Shereé went to the iFit function, but she got there late. That's why we're done with her and She by Shereé. She's missing every single, the universe is on her side. She's getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to show this She by Shereé product, and she gets an epic fail every time. When Drew did her event, Drop It with Drew, that she should have sponsored that event with all of her She by Shereé stuff. So it could have been a dual exposure. Drop It with Drew, and we got the She by Shereé products in here, okay? She could have went to iFit and connected with these people. Can I give you some She by Shereé products, to go with your iFit? I don't know. Do they
be sponsored to dress their athletes for their videos?
Oh, they
especially with that body.
Yeah. She messed up. She got there late, and she's like, "Oh my God, the Uber driver got lost." Well, that's why you should have got up earlier, just in case they got lost. She's missing every opportunity, and she gets an F. That's all I got to say about her.
She's an airhead. She's an airhead.
She is. She's an airhead. You know what? You said it right. You said it right. So, okay. Well, you know what? So many people in the chat, they're Team Ross. I guess I'll take an L on this one, but I still say he was dead wrong.
Like I said, if he had never stood up, I would have been cool with what he did. But when he stood up, that's going to intimidate anybody. Even the men. The men could have all jumped up, and then what?
Right.
But
go ahead.
There's probably a reason why, because probably the men agree with what he was saying.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, or the fact that men don't like to get down like that. Men don't like mess. They really don't.
They do not.
I mean, some of the housewives men like the mess.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're more wives than they are husbands. Michael Darby.
We got some Team Kenyans in the building. So wait, you said, okay, so Team Ross, he meant well. It's hard to watch a loved one get ganged up on, but his wife is messy. His wife runs her mouth on a regular basis. She gets gangster with her mouth. And that's why at the end, like Kenya or not, Kenya pulled her all the way together. Yes, dragged her, like I said, by them 4 gold medals, and then threw the bronze in her face. She got beat down. Okay? She got beat down at the end.
You know how Sanya feel about that 1 bronze medal. Why you have to say that?
I'm just trying to tell you how you going to start mess, but then you can't finish it.
That's true. Listen, Kenya gave her a little bit of moment of Alzheimer's in that moment, because she couldn't remember what she was trying to get together. So,
gosh,
yeah,
that was secondhand embarrassment when she's like, "Let me think about it." I was like,
that was just messy. Yeah, you know what happened? Hold on, right? That's right. Take the page from Daddy Damon. I know that's right. The men don't get in the business. The men don't get in the business, okay? So listen, now we got to go to this lunch outing with the Burbs. But before we get to the outing, you know what? They collectively, I mean, Moyetta, her husband, everybody collectively, they iced Marlo out as the host. It was sad to watch. And then Ty got back at her because they went under their little private area and they said, we don't sit in the general population. Okay. She couldn't even say anything. He slam dunked her with that one, right? He was like, listen, bye, see you later. Y'all be out here in the sun. We going under here where it's covered, and we're going to chill under here,
well,
okay?
the guys were
The
very
VIP
funny.
section.
The VIP.
Yeah, the guys were very funny because even Marlo's friend Adrian, he was a kiki too, because he was like, okay, the birds are pooping on the right people. He said that little jab.
There you go.
Yes,
There
he did.
you go.
Candy,
Hey,
but Candy
Hey,
covered that
Gabor.
food. Candy covered that food.
Listen, Gabor. Was Ross not wrong for standing up and bucking his chest, saying, "Not my wife"? Let me know, Gabor. But so yeah, the birds was pooping all over them, and Kandi is playing this food situation to the 10th power.
Yes, he is. Oh my
Kandi
God.
is not playing with this food, okay?
No.
She was like, a little poop ain't gonna hurt nobody. She picked up her plate and she was continuing to eat. Okay.
Now, see, that's the one part about that restaurant where, again, everything was beautiful. But I was thinking, when you are under a tree, even no matter where you at, you need umbrellas. You need big old umbrellas so where you can enjoy your food without nature just ruining it for you. Because that would have ruined it for me.
Wait a minute. Tracy said I would have asked her, what you gonna do?
Well, see, Tracy's at an advantage because she's 6 foot. I think she's 6 foot or 6'1". Hey, Tracy.
She would have asked her, what you gonna do, Mr. Ross? I'm trying to tell you who you bucking up against. Don't be coming for me. Your wife throwing rocks, she gonna get rocks thrown at her. Okay.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Who gonna check me, boo? Yes.
Okay. But wait, when she said,
thank you, Tracy.
But when Tracy said that right there, what you gonna do? She reminded me when Shereé was talking to Kim Phil, said, "Oh, what you gonna do?"
Listen, they punked Kim when she was on it. That show was not.
You know what? Bravo thought they were hiring Regine Hunter. They was hiring somebody's grandmother, basically.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they do it. Yeah, that was not, out of all the people that I could really think of, she definitely was not a good fit for the show. Okay, so the birds were pooping all over them. Kandi says she doesn't skip a meal. Marlo threw shade at Moyetta. Okay, when she said let's go out by the pool, and Gabor said security. When Marlo said let's go out by the pool, and then Moyetta was finally coming, she gonna say, "Oh, Kandi, let her come outside. Kandi, let her come over here." I said, "See, Marlo, you always start in mess, and that's why can't nobody get with you. You understand what I mean?" And Marlo claims that she was triggered when she was talking to Moyetta, and Moyetta fed into the shenanigans, right? Yeah. When she was talking to Moyetta, she was telling her, listen, I was triggered, because I was adopted. You know what kills me with all of them? When their back up is up against the wall, then they want to bring up, oh, my background, my childhood was bad, and that's why I'm like this, and so forth and so on. It was messy, but Moyetta fell into the Marlo trap. She got wrapped right into it, to the point where she went under, the VIP section and told Kandi, like, listen, she's good. Like, she's okay. She wants to apologize to you.
Well, that's classic housewife. You see, what they all pulling is a Ramona. Because I remember one of the seasons on the Housewife of New York City, she said, because of my childhood, all the girls said, stop it. You're 65 years old. They're going to sit up here and talk about your childhood.
She's only 65?
Well, listen, at the time, there's a couple of years, that was about 10 years ago.
I was like, she looked like she close to 100.
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago. But I think that's what they always say. They go, oh, my childhood. So every housewife franchise, Vicky, all of them, they do the same thing. So they be nasty, and then they get them in the corner. I think that's what they were talking about Kenya a little bit too, with her personal problems this episode. They would go to that. Own what you do. If you're messy and if you're mean to people, don't use your problems as an excuse.
Right. So you're saying Ross wasn't going to do anything, LOL. Kandi on Speak On It said Ross was talking to everybody and mainly production because he felt like production was playing sneaky. Yeah, well, that's what he signed up for. It's a reality show. So sit down, calm down, and just like everybody else get played and they got to take their check, then your wife's going to get played too. She's not going to be immune to this situation here. She ain't going to get away with it. Like Drew said, oh, so we all can get questioned, but Sanya can't? Nah, Sanya has to sit down and take it. like the rest of us are taking it. So sit down, Ross. Yes, that's what him and Sanya signed up for. Yes, they did. That's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? So, now they're going on the little rafting trip, okay? Shereé is still being a bone collector, okay? So Shereé has not dropped this role. She's being the bone collector. She's playing both sides of the fence, and she actually gassed Sanya up to pretty much go after Kenya, which was a very, very bad idea, okay? Because Sanya's not ready. And it proved at the dinner table, right? And Kenya was mad at Ross. She called it scary. Now, let me tell you this. Do I think that Ross should have minded his business? Absolutely. Do I think it was a scary moment? And do I think he was going to do something to somebody? No, I do not. Okay. And so Kenya was just being, a mess with that. Now, here's the thing. We got to see Drew's room because Drew was not able to go because her foot is still in, she got a situation with the foot. But why was Drew's room looking just as messy as Anila's room? That room was a whole hot mess. Stuff was everywhere. Food was everywhere. Clothes was everywhere. Come on, Drew and Ralph, get that room together. Especially, the camera's about to come in the room. So you messy for real. If you know you being filmed and you can't get that room together. Before production, when it came in that room, I would have been hopping on one foot, kicking everything under the bed or something. But you ain't coming in here filming and this room look a mess. I'm sorry. Not about to do it.
All she had to do is call housekeeping, stay your butt on the sofa, let them clean, and then the camera crew.
You ain't lying.
That was lazy.
But what if her and Ralph was having like a good night and he was picking her up all over the hotel room and that's why it looked a mess?
You saw Ralph, you saw Drew, and you saw that room. All he had time to do that morning was to get her dressed and prop her on that chair.
Ralph, don't play Ralph like that. Ralph is strong. You ain't see his Instagram, shower pictures.
I don't follow other people's husbands. I don't follow other people's husbands. I might like them. I don't want to like them like that. But you know what? They almost dropped it with Drew. It took 4 men to carry her butt in that wheelchair.
Didn't it though? But listen, let me tell you something. Heath is the man. Because did you see Heath when Ralph was kind of lifting her up a little bit? He just picked her up and got her up that bus the rest of the way. Yeah. And she's like, "Thank you, Heath." And Chris, you being messy, talking about Drew can't afford Miss Gomez. Miss Gomez don't want nothing to do with none of them no more.
Because they don't eat pinto beans. That's why.
Yes, Ken is a Karen, you guys. Ken is a Karen.
Yeah, so Tracy says, so Kenya turned into Karen. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She did. Being so messy, right? So, like I said, Shereé is being the bone collector. So let's get to dinner. And unfortunately, Drew couldn't go to dinner because her leg was all broken. Kandi goes and talks to did Monyetta come to Kandi? And she's trying to clear things up. Now Monyetta, I know I guess is a friend of the show. Monyetta, Kandi, you should have let Monyetta use your makeup artist. Now Candy's wrong for that. When Monyetta went to dinner, her makeup was a little off. Monyetta's dress was okay. And I'm a fault Kandi for that. That's your friend. You should have helped her get her little makeup together, okay? Kandi and Marlo, go ahead. What did you think? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kandi should have let her go through those clothes she was trying to get through Marlo before she let her come on that show like that.
Oh, don't sell Monyetta short. Monyetta got her own coins. And what she don't have her husband have. He got this.
Now, let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really like Monyetta's husband. And I said it before, she really dodged the bullet. She's lucky that Neil didn't want to marry her because I think she really got a good one. He seemed real chill. I like him a lot. And the dinner colors was black, gold, right, and green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. That's what I'm saying. Sanya, Sanya did a really good job with this trip. I liked it that she had a little theme for the dinner, right? And so Kandi and Marlo end up coming with the same top, different colors.
Now, who wore it better? For me, I think Marlo looked better in her green than Kandi looked in her black.
I'm gonna give that to you. I agree.
Because I like Marlo's. I liked her accessories. It was like gold and stuff that matched that green thing in her face, her hair. I just thought, I was like, okay, so. Yeah, I know why Kandi was saying, like, damn, this woman up here got the same design, and I'm looking with the braid. Kandi's beautiful too, but it just was a little Marlo. Yeah, her thing looked better to me.
That color green is so nice. That's kind of the
spot
same
on, right?
It was good. It was really good.
Was rocking on the Christmas dress in Beverly Hills. That kind of.
Wait, who was?
The Crystal girl wore in Beverly Hills to the Christmas party, that sparkly green outfit. It was
so the short
gorgeous color green. It's so nice. I love it, you guys.
Yeah. Sanya looked beautiful, and Sanya is in such really great shape, but she was giving me a mahogany Diana Ross moment. With the hair, with the dress.
The hair was dry. The hair
was dry. The bald spots were noticeable.
Oh my God, her edges were horrible.
A whole wig.
No.
She wore a whole wig. That was wrong. And every picture you see is the side of her head. That's the wrong.
I know
side.
they did it wrong. They did that on purpose.
Yeah,
it was wrong, but her dress looked good on her. We'll give her that. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what Shereé did, but she was there. Okay.
Shereé looked like one of those like voodoo witches that be in the forest or from like New Orleans somewhere. That's what her dress was giving to me.
She did kind of give up that Captain Jack Sparrow vibe, huh? When he went to go for the lady.
So you're saying that Shereé was giving you Marie Laveau from American Horror Story?
Well, I didn't say that. Marie Laveau had good style. I would say she was probably Marie Laveau's like side priestess, like her third and fourth to the left side, because
I agree.
Yeah, she wouldn't.
I think, you know what? I do feel like Kenya's yellow dress was very nice, but again, you missed the mark though. The colors was great. Oh, was yellow part of the colors? No, yellow was
gold. So Kenya was doing it.
Yeah,
gold, black, and green.
Okay, so she did it. She did look good. She did look good. I did really like her dress. So I thought she looked good.
At the table, all the ladies were representing Jamaica's colors very well.
Yeah,
and hell, even Drew looked better than Shereé in the bed with that black, like kind of just like top she had. She did look good.
She looked good. She got the face beat and everything to be laying in the bed. Now listen, Marlo felt that Shereé had uplifted her when she's playing that video over and over again when they did the race, and Shereé wanted, was rooting Marlo on to win. But Shereé actually said it. Listen, girl, I put my bet on you. That's why I was rooting on you to win. But Shereé was like, well, I'm still glad, and it still uplift me. Marlo was being full of crap in that moment, but she said, your video still uplift me, and I'm listening to it over and over and over again. I thought it was a little dramatic, but you know what? That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And in these shows, we're here for the drama.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. The reason why the money Shereé put down was part of the down payment for that haul that she missed out on, so she couldn't afford to lose it. That's why.
That is true. That is true. So, she said that. So now Marlo and Kandi speak, right? And they had a little moment. And their moment was they kind of came to a meeting of the minds, don't talk about my husband, and I won't talk about the nephews. I won't talk about anything. Good boy said Marlo ain't going. Let us forget she was in the group. She was in a group home child. Yeah. So they had their little moment, and they pretty much made up, so to speak, a little bit. So I appreciated that moment. But here we go. And then, the men left. So Ross left because he claimed he had to work the next day in the AM. When they was in Jamaica, where was he going to work at?
He was doing iFit with Sanya, so I think they both were contracted to do that job.
Okay, so they had one more last job to do before they went home. Okay,
I think he did.
All right, I believe that. But okay, go ahead, Ross. Go ahead and go get some sleep so you can work the next day, right? Now, see, this is what I'm saying with Ross. You want to stick up for your wife, but she messy with the mouth. She told Kenya that she's ungrateful. She started with Kenya. She started with Kenya, right? So she told her, she said, you're ungrateful. Every time I talk to you, you're in the phone. And see, that's why she wasn't ready for Kenya, right? Because Kenya said, listen, my phone over there, it's in my bag. What are you talking about? I ain't looking at my phone. Okay. So then they're going back and forth. And then Kenya told her pretty much, shut up and listen to me speak.
Mm-hmm.
Which was messy, Boots. Was messy. And Sanya tried to hang in there with the battle. She tried to hang in there. She tried to hang in there with her, but she couldn't hang.
No.
She couldn't hang.
No.
When that chick told her, listen, everything you mad with me about, we done made up. We done apologized to each other. She said, you got to let that go. Leave it in the past. And so she said to Sanya, the magic words, you tell me, you still mad at me? What are you mad at me about? That chick said she had to think about it.
Ooh, I think that's an indication of the reunion. She's probably going to be dreadful to watch in this 3-parter that's coming up.
She better be
not ready
for it. She better be.
She's not ready. Like I said, Kenya dragged her for filth. Okay.
On the beaches of Jamaica.
Absolutely. Yes. In her home, in her home country.
Your home country. Right. You got dragged for filth with them. She dragged you by the neck with them medals, okay? And then she tossed the bronze one in your face, okay? Yeah. She was like, let me think.
You see, my issue was that she had legitimate issues because the woman was she wasn't being very warm and welcoming and loving. She was not being very kind. So Kenya read her and said, you're not articulate. That's true, because we see that she had to think about what she was trying to say. So I think that for me, Sanya had some things that she wanted to express, but she didn't know how to put it together. So as a viewer, I see what she was, had some issues about, but she couldn't say at the table. So Kenya just basically, got it together, and that was it. So, Kenya won, and she lost hard.
Kenya won. Kenya definitely won. When she said that chick wasn't articulate, she smashed her. She smashed her. What did you think about that?
Yes.
Smoke, you there?
I'm here. I just saw a clip of the same thing we talked about where Sanya just drew a blank on Twitter, and I had to just relive the moment again.
She's like, let me think. You mad at somebody, you got to think about why you mad. No, you should have been shooting it off.
No, but nothing's wrong with that, Diva. My thing is, this is the Real Housewives series. You have to be like on go and be ready for anything. So like, even if you have to lie in the moment, like make it good. But the fact that you just sat there, it's just like, she won the conversation right there. You had to literally sit there and think about what you actually mad about.
That's why Shereé repeats everything the other person says, because she's not quick on her wit. She can only think fast enough to say the last 3 words you said.
No, Shereé's quick at her confessionals. She's not quick like what you're saying, like in person, like sparring with people.
Right, exactly. But I feel like Ken was true to form, so nasty, so rude, so ungrateful. Oh my God. And if Ken was good at following directions, if she would have brought somebody with her, she would have had somebody to stick up for her, which was her complaint about Ross, right? And then she wouldn't have needed freaking Sanya to breastfeed her or brush her hair or whatever it is that she was crying Sanya didn't take the time to do. And then damn Sanya should have went in on Ken in patois. She would have really nobody would have understood what she said except for her, but she should have full bumbleclots in there and went in on Ken and just shut her down. But she was sleeping on the job, you guys.
She slept on the job. And see, that's why Ross had to step in for her later. He should have stayed at the table because she was not ready. And he talking about drowning. She drowned. You better throw the what is it, the lifesaver? You better throw the lifesaver. You better throw a whole bunch of things because your boo, she drowned without you. Okay?
No, Diva. She didn't drown. She basically did a Jack where she just floated down to the ocean. She just gave up. She just gave up.
Titanic, absolutely.
Epic. It was an epic fail.
Epic fail. She was on the Titanic. It was no recovery. Let me think. Girl, let you think. Tracy, I Googled Sanya's husband. He is not cute. He is the Walmart Blair Underwood. See, don't do that,
Tracy. Well, damn. Why it had to be Walmart? Couldn't he be like Kroger's version of Blair Underwood?
You know what, though? Tracy, thank you for the super set. They are cute together, though. I really like them together. I really like their son, Ducey. I mean, I think they're a cute family. But Sanya, she better get her whole life together. You don't go up against the queen of wit with her mouth and not be prepared. And like you said, she could have said so much, but again, they get in them confessionals. They're like, I should have, would have, could have. No, it's too late. You missed the mark. You missed the mark. She was all in Drew face. So you see, when she was going up against Drew, she kept coming at Drew, coming at Drew, coming at Drew. But now, here's your chance. You got your match, boo, and you lost, okay? Who going to check Kenya, boo? Well, apparently not Sanya. Sanya lost.
She did.
What do you have to say about this whole situation between Sanya and Kenya?
Well, Ken ordinarily doesn't like to fight. She usually just fights verbally, but I see she snatched Sanya's edges for filth. She snatched that girl's edges up, deservedly so, because Sanya is new to this, not true to this. Her show was her show. This is a whole different show with a whole bunch of different cast of people that are not your family members.
You know what, Chris? Thank you, Sid, for that. You know what, Chris? You dead wrong. You said a 4-year-old can collect Drew. Don't. That is so mean. Yes, TKO. Kenya won. Oh, she definitely won. Okay, she
Chris
definitely won, hands down.
Yes.
You know, she won, but watch next week. She's going to try to play the victim again and act like she tried to change again and act like we haven't seen her do the same thing she did to Sanya last night for 10 years. Watch, she's going to try to act like we haven't seen it. And oh, poor her. Watch, come next week. It's only gonna last a week, y'all.
Well, Curves, you could just go on her Twitter like she was doing it last night, and I'm like, now Kenya.
Well, you know what, Curves? No, I'm gonna give it to you.
Follow her, though.
She does most certainly 100% play the victim, and she was disrespectful to Sanya the minute Sanya opened her mouth, by putting her head down, saying, "Here we go, here we go." She just got Sanya from the very beginning, but you know what though? That's Sanya's fault.
It is.
Because if you're going to come for somebody, be ready, be prepared. Right.
Absolutely.
And she wasn't prepared. And she said so many disrespectful things to Sanya, and Sanya had no comeback, okay? Telling that girl she's not articulate. She was just messy, okay? Now she got Sanya again by saying, "Where's my birthday cake?" Because at the end of the day, Sanya did give everybody else, every time you turned around, I never seen them celebrate birthdays so much.
Right.
Every time you turned around, somebody was getting a birthday cake. So where is Kenya's cake? Where was her cake?
In the trash.
In the river. But you know what I was going to say too with this episode again. I because of the recap, I had to watch this episode. But then we get to the preview, which was the best part for me because we about to do the preview for the next week. But then Miss Marlo had to stop the press or something. She said, "You know what? I went to get the Kentucky Fried Chicken." And Miss Kandi sniffed me out, and now we fixed our friendship. That was hysterical, because it left Marlo in the hotel. All the ladies did when they had to leave to go back to Atlanta, and she didn't detour to go to Kentucky Fried Chicken. Well, she went to the front of the line, and Kandi smelled the chicken, and then now their friendship is back together. So what Nene was saying, that whenever there's food, there's Kandi.
Listen, wait. First of all, what is this country girl? Sanya was disrespectful by saying, "What's up? What's up, Kenya?" She was. That's what I'm saying. Sanya's mouth gets her in trouble every single time. She want to act like, she want to be gangster with it. She want to be gangster with it, but at the end of the day, she can't. She can't live up to what she's saying because she has so much energy for Kenya. But then Kenya pulled her all the way together to the point where she was speechless. She couldn't say nothing but accept her apology.
Yes, she was.
And have to call that woman ungrateful.
She was. She was not.
Well,
being
I mean, as far as the trip is concerned, she was ungrateful. She was. All the accommodations were taken care of, and she took over the boat trip.
Yeah,
she did. You know what? Here's the thing. Sanya has some very legit points she could have made, but because she didn't have her life together, she wasn't able to make them. And nobody came to her defense. Now, see, she was backing Marlo up so much. Marlo saw her drowning. Marlo could have cut through her lifeline and said something. No, everybody sat there and watched Kenya drag her down kick her in the water, and everybody just watched her go down. Nobody came for Sanya. No one helped her. Okay.
Didn't Kandi say that she was, after all, at work, and you guys did have a good time on the boat?
At the point where I think she did say that, but at the point towards the end at that dinner, all we heard was pretty much Kenya give Sanya the verbal beatdown. She told the girl to shut up. She told the girl, I don't like you because you can't even articulate yourself, and I like articulate people. Mm-hmm. But then she put her foot in her mouth too, because at the end when they made up, she tried to say the reason why I do like you is because you're smart and you're a businesswoman, whatever. It was a messy argument, but at the end of the day, Ken did win. Ken win. The win went to Kenya. Serious, y'all. This is Kenya's last season. Watch. Where y'all think that was they're getting Portia $5 million from? Andrew Cohen hates us. Listen,
they ain't giving Portia $5 million, please.
Do you think? I know I heard that also. I don't know. I mean, do you think Portia is really worth $5 million paycheck?
That will require her to tell everything. Like when she first contacted Simon, when they first slept together, how she arranged for Simon to get divorced from Fallon, all that. She had that trouble revealing that on her own show, so she ain't gonna do it around a bunch of heifers she don't like.
I think the $5 million might be for the wedding special, her appearance on the RHOA, and then possibly, I hope not, another season to her show.
Oh, they got renewed. They get in the season 2.
Okay, so I could see it being 5 for all those projects, but not just one.
That's, you know what, Tim, I'm feeling you on that. I could see 5 for all of those projects, but definitely not 1. Yeah, I don't think she's worth that type of money. And I also don't think that now, I don't know, the ratings for RHOA, I think, come out tomorrow, right? Now, their last couple of shows, they did pull in some good ratings. So they're on the uphill with the ratings, so to speak. Now, Portia.
Marlo. But you know what? Okay, that's good.
I was thinking the ratings are doing good because of Marlo.
No, but I was going to say too, the ratings for me are doing. What I think is happening is that people watched at the beginning, like I did, was like, okay, this is boring, and watch some of their favorite, people want to talk about on YouTube, which I did. And next thing I know, it's okay, I'm liking what people are saying in the recaps. Let me go check it out. And that's, now people are curious again.
Exactly, man. I was just getting ready to say that. It's the YouTube streets that got their numbers up.
I think
you guys keep recommending that we watch it. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. So everybody's telling a friend, let's give it a chance. So the numbers are up. Right. And we will decide when they go off the air, too, if they keep on with this shenanigans.
Right.
That's not BK. You talking about when Kenya was in New York promoting that Kenya Moore hair care? Don't do that. Thank you for the super sticker.
Oh, wait, what happened in New York? What happened?
She was in, I think it was, best I was saying 2 weeks ago. She was in New York. She was promoting Kenya Moore hair care. And I think there was a big billboard sign up. I forgot where it was at with Kenya Moore hair care. So she was, and apparently I think she went to her baby. They're not divorced yet, right?
No, they're still married.
So I think she also went to the husband's restaurant.
Oh, was she in Times Square with the Kenya Moore hair care? No one's paying her no mind.
In Times Square. She was in Times
Square. Damn, that is horrible. You know how bad that has to feel? Like you're in the epicenter of culture and the arts, and people just passing by you like it's nothing.
Yeah, it was in Des High Bob. It was in Times Square. And I was like, oh, I wish I knew. I would have trucked my way out there, but I didn't even know. To me, so she should have put something like that on her Instagram. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't look at their Instagram every day. If something happens to pop up, then I may catch it. Maybe she did put it on her Instagram that she was going to be out there. But if she didn't, she should have. I think a lot of them, they got a lot of missed opportunities because they don't promote well. Yeah, she got a billboard in Times Square. So yeah, it was in Times Square.
Well, Diva, here's the thing. I think if she would have promoted it like she would on her social, people would have just showed up and pulled a Shereé and just open the bottle and drink and see if it was just water. I would have.
Don't do that. Listen, I personally haven't seen it in my CVS yet.
Or Sally's.
Huh?
or Sally's, like all the places she said is listed. Like even like I think Andrea was looking for. She had said when she's like she can't find it not near nowhere in a CVS or where all beauty products is sold. No Kenya Moore hair care is out there, but I think it's a supplier's issue because the stuff comes from China.
Oh,
but didn't she say that in the season 2 when she was talking?
Oh wait,
yeah, she did say that.
Yeah.
Wait, High Vibe is saying that she used her product and you love it. Where did you find High Vibe? Where did you find it at?
Yeah, but this season she was saying to Kandi she was having some difficulties with her shippings and things, right?
Yeah, with the
I'm gonna go look for it again, guys. I'm gonna go look for it again. Good boy, you're in the building. What's going on?
Hey,
What's good?
What's good?
Nothing. You know, I just don't understand the Kenya hate.
Oh.
From Georgia, they don't even want to call about her real name.
I just called her.
Her own husband don't call about her real name.
Came from her
and that's why she divorced him.
No, she would take him back tomorrow, calling her kin and everything.
But Diva,
yes,
I feel like, you know, Ross ain't said a word all season. Ross ain't say 2 words all season. And all of a sudden he want to get up and threaten Kenya like that. I didn't like the way that he threatened Kenya. That's why, if you ask me, Diva, I believe that's why they brought her on that trip so Ross can disrespect her. That's why she was so hell-bent on her bringing a man on the trip. Because they wanted to disrespect Kenya. And you see, ain't nobody stand up for her. None of the men standing up for her. Ain't nobody say, hey, don't talk to her like that. Hey, y'all. Ain't nobody say, hey, don't talk to her like that. Ain't nobody said nothing.
You know what? That's true. That's a good point.
I would have went home. If I was scared, y'all would have went home. No man is going to talk to me like that. That's what I would have told him. No man will talk to me this way. Your husband will not speak to me this way.
No, listen, I wholeheartedly believe that too. I wouldn't have. I think that men should, you know, mind their business. I also think that he was doing a little side shade to Todd. Like, you may let them talk to your wife like that, but they ain't gonna talk to my wife like this. It was messy, boo. And I think, remember at the end of the last dinner that they had, Kandi kind of made some more mention to it. And I think that's kind of why Ross left, because she was like, because when Todd said something to Marlo, she was like, see, if a man talks to a woman, then, you know, then everybody's going to be in an uproar about it.
But nobody was in an uproar with Kenya, you know what I'm saying? Right. And he left because he didn't want to be held accountable. He didn't want to apologize, and he didn't want to be held accountable. So he said, let me get up out of here because I'm not going to apologize to Miss USA.
I feel that way.
Miss America. Miss America.
I feel that way. Fifi, thank you. I don't understand the Kenyan love.
Oh, Fifi.
But yes, I felt like a boy. He should have apologized before he left. He could have just said, you know what? Last night I didn't like the way y'all was talking to my wife, but I shouldn't have spoke like that either. And
it was so aggressive, and he was so aggressive, and to threaten her, it was just so uncalled for.
What was the threat? Just refresh my memory, you guys.
What you mean? He got up out of his seat.
So when that's not a threat, that's almost.
It was.
That's almost.
I was scared at home. I was scared at home. Like, oh my God, what is he about to do?
Wait. I want to say this. So with the pillow talk, was it Kenya that said when she got up her seat that wasn't a threat?
Oh.
But the husband grabbed that man grabbed Kenya.
No. Okay, well, I got a better one.
Williams grabbed Kenya.
Wait, good boy.
First of all, Kenya is a woman and Natalie is another woman. So that doesn't even equate.
Wait, but let me ask this. So was it a threat when Kenya got out of her seat and basically shifted Kim's fields? Was that a threat? Was she being
that is another woman. That is another woman. Ross is an NFL player. Ross was a big old football player out here talking to Miss USA. Y'all talking about 2 women. This is a big old NFL player. You know that man big and strong.
Okay, Mr. Andrew. Okay.
I don't think that she was feeling threatened. She's playing.
Oh, she was threatened. I was threatened.
She's playing.
You were threatened.
See, y'all don't want to call out threats. Y'all don't want to call out. See, that's what I'm saying. See, it ain't. It's support black women until it's Kenya.
Gabor is
support black women until it's Kenya.
I love Kenya
as a black woman, but she's wrong. She's wrong.
She was a hot mess last night.
That man didn't have to threaten her like that.
It wasn't.
Gabor.
Gabor is coming in hot because Portia's coming back.
No, it could have been a CTE. It could have been. You know, one of my friends told me that it might have been the CTE. I don't know what it was. He might have thought he was on the football field or something. It was too aggressive.
Wait.
It was too aggressive for me.
Diva, you missed the comment. It says until it's Garcelle. Until it's Garcelle, then Gabor be like.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I thought
if it was Garcelle, Gabor would have no problem with it. He'd be like, "She deserved it. She deserved it. She did something."
That's not true. That's not true.
We just playing Gabor.
What happened? My whole thing is.
Go ahead, Gabor.
Diva, do you? I remember though. I think that we need to get him checked out. It might have been a CTE or something. You know what I'm saying? Because you are not on the football field, Ross. You didn't have to get up all aggressive like that and don't play with my wife and walking all off. He had to cool this stuff down and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It could be for real. That is a serious question that we need to ask. I don't know what's going on.
But
it was just too aggressive. What was I watching, Diva? What was that?
Now that you say that, wait, hold on 1 second, guys. Yeah. You know what, Gabor? Now that you say that, we're gonna have to make a doctor's appointment for him. We're gonna have to take him to the clinic. We gotta take him to the clinic or take him to the emergency room or something. Because you're right. Because he said it and then he walked off. Okay.
But Diva, I want to know which show was Mr. Andrew Gabor watching tonight. That was not the show I saw.
Exactly. You didn't see him stand up?
I saw him stand up, but the way you described him, that's
I
think that's
what they stand up. Loving eyes are blind. Loving eyes are blind.
Gabor, he just stand up. He glided up.
Gabor in Mel's defense, Mel did not watch last.
I saw a mad dog in Jamaica, and that's all I'm saying. Check the CTE. Check the CTE.
I didn't see
no
dog.
To be dead first.
Remember, Diva. Look, okay, I'm just saying. Y'all go. You know what I'm saying? When somebody come up, okay.
Oh my God. All I'm saying is that Gabor, you're sounding a little bit like Dorito, changing the tone and inflection.
I am. Wow.
I'm not Kyle, and now
let me not raise my paddle.
Fifi said, listen. Fifi said, Mark said it wasn't aggressive. Ken can handle it.
Exactly.
Fifi, thank you for the super sticker. Listen, guys, even if you love Kenya, and we love her too, we really ain't got nothing against her like that. But you gotta be honest. I mean, even if you don't love her, I want to say, right? You gotta be honest. He was a little aggressive. We may have to check him out. We may have to get him a CAT scan or something because he stood up. Okay. He got all aggressive with his wording and he looked around at everybody on the table. Then he walked off and then she's walking after him. Right. So if you was afraid she was going to drown, why you walk off and leave her there after you said what you had to say? They could have jumped on her.
Well, I think he was trying to, but I was going to say this about this character, this man that we're talking about tonight. If I'm not mistaken, this is his first offense, so we're going to give him a little grace. He's not a multiple offender like Michael Dobbs and other husbands. So now we're going to give him a little.
You're going to give him
a little grace, Mr. Andrew Gabor. We're going to give him a little grace.
A little grace for threatening somebody.
We're going to give him a little grace. We're going to give him a little grace. Now, if he do it again, then we can say, he had all this brain damage that you're saying he had and need to see the doctor.
I didn't say. I said it could have been CTE. I don't know.
We don't know. Okay, allegedly.
Well, Gabor, I have a question. Since Kenya is so good at calling out threats, why would she go in the back of a Ford pickup to sleep with a man that broke into her garage?
Baby, what is apples and oranges?
Let's get
Those are apples and oranges.
Let's get into it.
That was her man. That was her man who she said has not ever put his hands on her.
He broke her house, her brand new house, and she went in the back of a pickup truck and bang, boom with her.
That was before you reached and smoke.
It wasn't a reach. It's like be consistent with your energy. If you feel threatened by
that was her man. That was her man. So this is a whole other man. Listen, come on now, Smoke.
Gabor, does that make
y'all be okay? It doesn't make it okay, but that was her man. That was her man.
I'm sorry if I had a man that broke into my house. I'm like, I don't care how good the sex is. I ain't going to back up pickup truck.
That ain't listen. That's you. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Kenya get when she gets with a man, she does everything and anything. She accepted that from him because that was her man. It's a broken glass. It's not a big deal. It wasn't.
But we don't know when she got in a truck with him and did that. That's all I'm saying.
And we don't know. They happened after the incident.
They didn't say that. He said it.
Yes, I believe it. She slept with him after he broke her garage door. I believe she
didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Okay, let me go do my YouTube research and pull the clip.
He said that they had sex in the truck, but he didn't say it was after he kicked in the window.
Okay, you know what? This is what I'll say, Mr. DeBoer. We're gonna give Mr.
I
Ross
just rewatched.
I don't believe in giving him no grace. I don't believe in giving him grace.
I just rewatched it. That was not aggressive. I just rewatched it.
Wow.
It was not aggressive. All he did, he was sitting there so calm and quiet, and then he stands up and he says, "I don't play like this with my wife. Don't F with my wife." And then it wasn't like he didn't even yell the way Chris Samuels did over on Real Housewives.
But see, this is the point that I'm making though. Drew,
when a black man stands up, it's aggressive. Okay.
Oh wow, really? Really? But support black women, so black. Okay, but this is the thing though. When Drew was arguing with Sanya in New York, Ross didn't say a word. He didn't say a word, but since Kenya was there because she had Ralph with him. You know what I'm saying? But since Kenya was there by herself, there was an opportunity for him to have his moment. Get a bitch a peach, Diva. I'm sorry, but give him a peach.
I feel like he said that because Shereé and Kenya were, look how hard it was for me to add the ya. It was Shereé and Kenya were getting at Sanya right then, talking about you weren't invited us. And then he stands up and is like, I don't want you guys talking to my wife. He didn't even yell out loud.
That's to you. If you wasn't the person, listen, you can't just say he was aggressive to her and she was scared. He was aggressive and she was scared. Who are you to say that she wasn't scared and she should be okay with that type of behavior from a man?
I agree.
Well, based off of that response, Gabor, and that's exactly my response of why I support Nene is what's good for her is good for her.
Child.
Oh, Lord, not Nene again.
In that regard.
Let me say this.
Listen, Curse, we cannot have this Nene fight, okay?
No,
because it was a big thing about Nene and the Smith case and how she was standing up for what was right. But now she scraped her Instagram and all her social media clean, being blackballed and everything else. We're not gonna go down that road right now. But you have one. Give me 1 second. You have entered the building for 1 second. Don, Ralph, and Dr. Eugene. What is that? The Vibe Club?
Big AB. Big the A word, the B word. I think she meant Ross. Did you mean Ross?
Yeah.
She meant
Ralph and Eugene are BAB. What's the BAB?
Big, the A word, and the B word.
Contessa.
I get it. Contessa. Okay, so E, you have entered the building. What do you want? He did mean Ross. She did mean Ross. E, what do you want to add to the conversation?
Hey Diva, hey everybody. I was in the chat and I was listening to Gabor get ganged up on that. I did not like it. I think that when a man stands up, because it sounds like we are protecting black men at the expense of black women. This is a couple's trip, and most of these ladies have husbands with them. Kenya is there alone with her daughter, even though the daughter wasn't at the table. For Ross to stand up and to curse at Kenya and then walk out like he was going to do something, that was aggressive. Whether you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Indian, anything, you don't stand over me and talk down to me and curse at me. That is aggressive. Point blank and period. We have to call a thing, whether he's black or not. He was out of order. I mean, do we all agree with that?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
He was out of order.
Yes, he was out of order.
So this one.
Oh my God, Diva! Do you see how it is when I say something nobody ever agrees with?
No.
Somebody else come and say it. Here they come.
No. Before the caller called in, I was going to say something. No, I want to say this. So I want to say yes. That's what I was just saying. This was the first strike. I mean, I don't know the history of this person on the show. So listen, what he did was wrong categorically. It was wrong. Yes, boom. But is he the most dangerous person that's ever been on the House where brought? No, I mean, it was an awkward, terrible, not so good moment. I'm going to say not so good. That's all. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that he was, it was going to start into some physical altercation. Absolutely not. We're not going to.
I don't know.
No. I'm going to say he crossed the line. Yes, to address another woman. Yes, that was not good. But do I think he's some kind of Male beater or something? No.
I'm not saying that we should lock him up.
Hold on one second. All we wanted y'all to admit, and before E came up, y'all was beating us down. All we wanted y'all to admit is that Ross was dead wrong, and y'all was like, no.
Yeah. Amen. Tell it, Diva.
When E came up and explained it a little differently,
tell it, Diva.
Y'all was like, yeah, we agree. But hold on, before anyone speaks, the Don, you have entered the building. What do you want to add to this conversation?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing, and then I'm gonna get back down. This boy was dead wrong to come after a woman like this. Now, if it was a man who said something to his wife, then he should have said something. But for him to say something to a woman, to go after a woman like this, then he showed his true colors. Now, what he should have done was to grab his wife and to remove his wife from the situation. But what he did was to attack a woman. Now, a husband, a real man, would have said, babe, let's go. I don't need you in this situation.
Yeah, come on now, free.
That's right. You got
what the big ass bitch did was to attack a woman who was there alone.
Yeah.
Now that's not what a grown man does. A married man removes his wife from a dangerous situation or an altercation.
And she should have remained ladylike while she was there because she had no one to protect her.
No, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
He didn't go after anyone. I'm looking at the.
But what he did was Kenya wasn't talking to him. Kenya was talking to his wife.
Him and Sanya are one, though. They're married.
They're one.
If you're talking to her, you're talking
but regardless of the fact, if Kenya would have addressed him, it would have been something else. Kenya was addressing his wife. Kenya was talking to her.
Well, and she really was asking valid questions. Did you not have a break? We wanted to go to the outfit thing. I could see if she was cussing at her, being aggressive with her. She was asking questions about why she didn't contact them or return their calls for the outfit situation. It was not called for him to get up and be that aggressive and threaten that woman.
He should have removed his wife.
He knew his wife could not articulate herself. So
he should have removed his wife from the situation.
And this reminds me of when they were in Miami, and because the cast didn't like Kenya at the time. Remember, it was that lady's nephew who was getting loud and belligerent, calling her all kinds of B's and H's, getting his auntie to the ground, and
walking towards her. Remember, he walked toward her.
Exactly, but because
that man was crazy.
Because the viewers don't like Kenya, this is what they do. But now I'm turning it on Todd. And who's Drew's husband? What is his name? Ralph. Because why didn't they stand up for Kenya the same way that Kandi had Ralph back the night before?
Ralph can't even stand up for Josiah.
Yeah, somebody should have stood up for Kenya. So now I'm looking at Kandi, Todd, and Ralph with the side eye. Like, what the hell is going on here?
You gotta give Heath the side eye too. You gotta give Heath the side eye too. Monietta was there with her man.
Well, that's right.
I'm looking at Kenya's side eye because if Kenya would have followed directions for the couples trip and brought somebody, then she wouldn't have had to be by herself. How about that?
Wow, really?
Curse. Now you know that her and her man is going through a little something right now. So who was she going to bring? Well, hold on one second, guys. Lovely, thank you for the super sticker. Way out of line with the boy comment. They talking to you, Don. But
no, if you act like a boy, that's what you're gonna be. You're a boy.
I know
if you speak to a woman like that, if you speak to a woman like that, that's how you are. You a boy. Now, when Nene called Greg a B, that was out of line. Peter a B, that was out of line. She was talking to him. She could have addressed Cynthia. Address the woman. Don't address the man.
What can I just say?
He addressed Kenya. He should have left that to his wife to address. Right. If she wasn't strong enough to address it,
okay,
he should have set his black self down. situation.
Oh no, I'm gonna say something.
I feel like Don is speaking facts.
Wait, hold on, guys. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to speak, but give me a minute. Warrior, you have entered the building. What would you like to say?
I agree that the men should stay in the men's business and the women should stay in the women's business. But I have a problem when Kenya continuously bullies. She bullies. I feel like Kenya is always on top of somebody. Like she said, she's good at fighting with her words consistently. But when it comes to things, when people come to Kenya, for example, when Sanya came to Kenya about the whole lake situation, you want to tear up and cry and all this stuff, and now you're sensitive, or now you feel like the victim. But when it's time for you to be on RHOA and RHOA, it's okay. So I just feel like it's always a double standard with Kenya, and that's my issue, and that's always going to be the issue with Kenya, because it's always a double standard. That's why a lot of the viewers cannot get along can't get on Kenya's side, because consistently you have always each season given a double standard. You say somebody's wrong for doing something, but then you turn around and do.
I think Kenya.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Messes me up with Kenya.
Yeah. Okay, you broke up a little bit, Roya, but I did hear what you said. Obi, you're in the building. What would you like to add to the conversation?
I actually have to disagree with the previous caller who said there is a double standard with Kenya, because I don't see the double standard. Where is the double standard? For me, I believe that if you're going to move on from the situation, like if you're going to confront somebody about a situation and you've decided to move on about it, then move on. Yes, Kenya was late the first time. She approached Sanya, she apologized, she gave her reasons why she was late and all that. And it seemed like Sanya accepted it, right? The second day, she didn't try to find out the information. She didn't try to gather the facts to see actually what happened, because I don't think Kenya was late. She was actually calling the front desk to see where the boss was. So I felt like Sanya was actually deliberately coming at Kenya. And then to hear that she wasn't even actually picking up their phone calls, including Kenya and Shereé, I felt like she was doing it deliberately. So she just wanted to have a moment with Kenya. And then in terms of Ross, what I feel about that situation is, I mean, if you really look at it, he was trying to defend his wife. I understand that, but he did it the wrong way. There was no need for him to stand up. There was no need for him to be, using curse words and all that. And if you look back at that scene, I felt like Sanya was handling herself. She was handling herself very well. Like she was actually legitimately having a conversation with Kenya and Shereé. And it seemed like she was actually attempting to get to a resolution with that. So in my opinion, I felt like Ross actually interrupted that. And at the end of the day, he came off aggressive. If you look at it from a plain point of view, a man standing up to a man and using curse words and directing his curse words at a woman will still be viewed as aggressive. You don't know how people are going to react to that, and you don't know who you're talking to. They're not actually that close, they're not, you can't say like their bodies like that should know exactly what he's all about. So I still believe that Ross came off the wrong way, and that's my opinion on that.
I appreciate your words. Hold on one second. Tracy, thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. And so I just want to say this. If we're all having a conversation at the dinner table and we're all talking and there's some disagreement, but then I stand up. Everybody's going to take that a certain type of way. So I stand up. I use some profanity. People going to feel some type of way. They're going to be like, yo, this what you're doing right now? But if I sit down and we all stay at the same level, the conversation may come off differently.
Right.
So your body language matters when you're having a conversation, just so that we can all hear each other. Smoke, is there anything else you want to add to this particular conversation?
I'm just gonna say, let's play this. Let's say someone's coming at my mom and they curse her out. I don't care if woman, man, or alien. I'm cursing right back at them. That's just
that part, Smoke.
I'm not playing that. I'm not playing that with nobody. I'm not gonna sit there.
I didn't see nobody mom on the trip.
Yes,
nobody mom on the trip.
Well, hold up, the boy. I'm just. My opinion. Hold up. If someone is cursing at like a close female
say I
or
agree with his
relative
opinion, but I had
But
to
it's apples and orange.
Guys, I'll let y'all talk. I'll let y'all talk. I didn't interrupt y'all. If someone's cursing, let's say I'm using my mom example because that's the same kind of love a man could have for his wife, that deep appreciation for them. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, mom, I'm gonna be like, who are you talking to? That's just me. I'm not gonna sit there and let someone come crazy at my mama. So that's why I come from that angle and that perspective. People can agree to disagree on that. But that's just me and how I would handle the situation. And that's
Diva, can I
so,
go?
so wait, guys, hold on. Let me hold on 1 second, guys.
Apply that to Ross.
Wait,
so
hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second, everyone. This is a very good point we got to throw into this scenario. I'm tired of these highly emotional men on these shows trying to fight with women. Reminds me of what Winter went through on Love and Marriage DC reunion show. The man need to talk to the man, and the woman need to talk to the woman. And that's why, if you notice, on all of the reunion shows that they would, what Andy used to do is, first he would have the ladies come out, then he would have the men come out, then the men would go back and mind their business, and he would close out the show with the ladies. So the men should not get in the ladies' business, and they definitely shouldn't get in the ladies' face. So Mel, I'm gonna come to you. What do you think about this situation? These men losing their stuff and getting in the woman's face.
Okay, so this is what I want to say this. So I'm hearing a little distraction. Okay, so I want to say this. So what I want to say is that I said Michael Darby earlier, and I was being a little funny, but this is the thing. Over that battle that Candace had with Ashley, he kept asserting himself in her face over and over and over and over and over, and I felt very sour against that man. This man I'm introduced to, I'm going to assert he made an egregious. He should not have done what he did. I don't do that myself in my personal life. So he did this, but I don't see it as a pattern of aggression towards women. That's what I'm trying to assert. I don't see that's his character. I feel like he's in front of the cameras. His wife is uncomfortable, whatever it is. The husband jumped up. He said something that was wrong, and he took his wife from what I saw and walked away on the beach. And this is what happened. That's where it ends for me. If I see him pop up, later on in the season doing it again, I'm going to look at him differently. You hear me? So that's what's going to happen for me. I'm going to. So you get one time for me. You get on the television. You've had an awkward moment. You said something that was not correct. You get one time for me. But if you become a Michael Darby, always inserting yourself with a woman's situation, literally seeking her out to aggress her, yes, I'm going to be like, oh no, this is not what's going on. And I think it's the person sent this chat right and this comment. Yes, the reunion was a hot mess because they kept constantly going after her. It was a winter. So yes, that's difference. There's differences there. So if you had an awkward, terrible moment, that's one thing. That doesn't make you a boy, a aggressor, a woman. All those kind of labels. It doesn't make you that. It just makes that you made a mistake. But if you constantly do it, then yes, now as me, Mel, I'm going to say, oh no, I'm sour against this person. So I just felt like it was a terrible moment in that moment. That's all. But if he do it again, if he does it again, yeah. And I'm going to say this too. Yes, so that's what I think about that. That's what I think. That's all. I get it. It's just that he had this sort of awkward moment. It's very, he stood up and he reacts. And if
the Whitney Houston moment.
If he keeps doing it, then yeah, I'm going to look at him sideways. But that's what I was saying on Bravo. We have many husbands up there. That's we had Brooks and OC. We have all these people that do crazy things all the time with these wives, and he's not. I don't see him as one of them at this point. Now, if he starts,
may I ask a question?
Sure.
Because I understand what you're saying and the perspective that you're offering as far as he doesn't have a pattern, but something is amiss there. Only because, and I'm asking you if you see the same thing. The fact that Sanya she felt fearful or uncomfortable to express the fact that she did not want to have another baby with Ross leads me to think that maybe there's a power dynamic in the relationship as far as being submissive and dominant. And then we also have to look at it. Sanya is not a sheep. Sanya, she has something in her. She has some fight. She's a 4-time Olympic gold medalist. Let her tell it. And you're hiking in the mountains with the lions and bears for outfit. Do you think that just because we haven't seen the pattern, that because he felt so comfortable to do this in front of the cameras there as his first time. This is his first season there. Usually people are on their best behaviors. The fact that he walked away, don't you believe that it's possible that we got a glimpse of the real him versus the facade he's been trying to hold in for the beginning months of filming?
Okay, so that was towards me. So I would say this: I don't know. I'm going to say, to be honest with you, I don't know. Again, that's why I said this was the first experience that I've had with this person on television to see this. So, like what you just said, if I see something pop up or something happens, then I'll go based on that. Right now, I just see a husband reacting. But if I see some more stuff going on, I'm going to turn. Again, at the beginning, I sort of enjoyed Michael Darby being awkward and weird and sexual and stuff like that. But then the patterns kept adding up for me, so I totally turned. So with him, if we see something going on in the marriage and stuff like that, I have to see evidence. And she seems like they seem like a very happy couple to me as a viewer. I don't know them personally, just what I see on the television. So
wait, let me throw. I'm sorry, Mel. Let me just throw this in. Now, listen, I think I'm isolating the situation, and I'm isolating to say that in that moment, for that time, he was dead wrong.
Absolutely.
Does that mean that I feel like, oh, he is just gonna, like, this is just him wholeheartedly 100%? No, but but the problem I'm also having with it is that he didn't want to apologize. That to me speaks volumes too, right? You want to go and say you got to go, deuces, peace, because you got work in the morning. You know what you did last night. You know how it was perceived. Here's your moment to clean it up, but you don't clean it up.
But Diva,
you say, deuces, I'm out. I got work tomorrow.
Do we know in the future if, and I'm getting into the series. Do we know in the future if that apology doesn't happen, and that one of these events where he walks over to her and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I should have. We know it could.
I'm sorry, Mel.
Yes.
No, I think he did apologize. There might have been something that happened off camera because even Kenya was just looking like, we're cool, like everything is not. Whatever happened in Jamaica happened in Jamaica, so they didn't carry it forward.
Yeah, and can I say one last thing too before you? Yeah. In the after show, most of the ladies, unless I'm mistaken, they talk about this moment. And don't you know that one of them said, except for Kenya, that he was, that there was some kind of uncomfortability. So of course, Kenya is the one who received it. So her opinion is very, very important to the situation. But the observers that was there, the women. They, I think Kandi said, well, I didn't have no problem with this. I actually thought that it was, it was okay. This is the after show that premiered today. So, the ladies sort of divided too about if they felt that if they felt that he was, crazy or something. So yeah, that was pretty interesting to review.
Okay, so here's the thing. Wait, somebody said Kenya has already defended Ross on Twitter. I'm not going to be more mad than her. That's fine, right?
Okay. I didn't know that.
We getting the aftermath of it. But in the moment, Kenya was playing the game too. Because she sat on that raft and said she was scared. Okay, it was a bit much. So I get it, and I'm glad they're all well now. But I'm just saying in that moment, he could have did better. And perhaps now he learned his lesson. Yeah. And what you got to understand is when you signing up for reality TV, you got to be prepared for the editing table and what they show and to answer to it, right? And so all I'm saying is that he could have did better in the moment. Maybe he apologized later, but he could have apologized at that dinner and said, you know what? I messed up.
He needs to apologize.
Hey, Diva, can I say one thing? This is done. In my world, I don't know about anybody else's world, but in my world, how I was raised, there is no time where a man should ever raise his voice, raise his hand, be in a particular demeanor towards a woman. Period. There's no time. Towards a man, we can go at it all day, all night. We can fight, we can yell, we can throw hands. But at no time you can stand over top of a woman, curse at her, do anything to the sort. At no time. So when he did, I don't care how much you don't like Kenya.
Right.
I'm not taking up for her. But he did that to a woman. Now, to the women on this panel and watching You're Alive right now, a man should never feel comfortable doing that to you. And if he does feel comfortable doing that to you, and if you think it's okay for a man to do that to you, it's a problem.
It's a problem. I'm gonna put an amen to that.
Well,
I'm gonna put an amen to that. 100%.
Listen, I'm gonna put an amen to it too. Again, but I think I agree. Listen, I agree with the brother. I agree with him 100%.
Hey, Flip.
I agree with him. I just think, you know what? Let's just see what Ross do for the rest of the thing. He was wrong in that moment, but is he like no? He was wrong in that moment, 100%. Boom, that's it.
And I feel like every new husband has had a wrong moment. Scott did the same thing on Married to Medicine. Cecil has done that on Twitter with Dr. Heavenly. You know, there are other shows where this has happened, where the husband has jumped up for the wife. You know, Peter did the same thing. That's why he got called a bitch by Adini, you know. So, you know, I feel like it's just, this is their first experience being on reality TV. And like Mel was saying,
Peter didn't do the same thing.
It's not their first experience on reality TV, but I get what you're saying. Maybe they are still kind of rookies at it, but it's not their first time at the rodeo.
He was not right in that moment, and also he needs to, like, you know, hopefully he apologizes and also take lessons from Beverly Hills of Mauricio and just smoke weed when he, you know, seen with his wife. That's it. Just sit back, smoke weed. When everybody talking about drugs and cocaine and all the stuff they talk about in Beverly Hills, you know what, Ross? Take a lesson from them. When it gets intense, just chill out with your bud. You're from Jamaica. Maybe you already know what the good stuff is in Atlanta, and have a chill pill. But you were wrong in that moment. Let's see what you do this season. If you apologize. Again, as a black man myself, I don't do it, but I'm giving this black man grace in that moment to see what he does for the rest of the season. I did with many other people on Bravo, and when they don't do well, I end up saying, "Oh no, I don't like you." I will do that quick fast. So I just saw this moment.
Yeah, we're definitely going to cut him some slack.
Well,
but we gotta call it. We do gotta call it what it was and what it is in that moment.
CTE?
Huh?
CTE?
Is he who?
No, Gabor.
Wait, I hear this. I hear this. Okay, so
I was joking.
We're gonna call this thing a thing. It is what it is. Ross got a lot to learn for reality TV, and the biggest lesson that he can learn is let the ladies do what they do, and the men mind their business. Unless you have to go break up an actual fight. And see, the other ladies, they probably didn't have no problem with it because their man was sitting next to them. Okay? Kandi had Todd. Monietta had Heat.
Well, that ain't much of nothing. Todd ain't much of nothing because when Peter walked up on Todd, I mean, when Peter walked up on Kandi at Pillow Talk, and he was up there laughing and Todd, I mean, and Peter and Mallory was serious, and Mallory pushed Todd like he was a toddler. Todd flew into the other room. But, you know, to me, I don't think that we can equate what happened with Peter and Nene to Ross and Sanya, because Peter was talking to Nene. Nene just didn't want to be told about herself, but he was never aggressive with Nene. Nene has a problem where she don't want to be called out in her wrongness.
And they were really friends too.
And yeah, they were friends. But Sanya knew what she was doing. That's why the next day, that's why that night she invited Shereé and not Kenya. Because she purposely didn't want to invite them there. And he didn't want Sanya to be called out on her wrongness. But I don't know. I just think that he needs to be checked. You know what I'm saying? And I get that this probably was the first time. You know what I'm saying? But the first time can become the last time. I don't know. To me, it was real aggressive to me. And I was clutching my pearls at home. I was scared for Kenya.
That's right.
No, she was in Jamaica in Sanya's hometown. She don't really know nobody, and no telling what'll happen if they come to her room that night. You know what I'm saying? I don't know to settle the score. You just never know. She know nobody. Nobody stood up for her. Nobody said anything. She out there by herself.
Oh God. Okay, listen, guys.
Is that funny, Diva? You wasn't scared for her?
Yeah, listen. I didn't like it. I really didn't think he was going to go far with it, but I think he got all big and bad and he used his words, and he should have let his wife, because his wife is messy with the mouth. She's real messy with the mouth. Right. And my thing is, let her handle her own business. Okay? You don't get in it. Now, somebody jumped up and was trying to hit your wife. Okay, then come on. Go ahead. Block them. But you talking about you a man, you a protector, you're not gonna let your wife go down. I wonder if Mark was sitting next to Kenya, would he have done the same thing? And I want to put my money on it and say he wouldn't have got up and said it like that. He would have let the ladies fight. But because Kenya was there by herself, he felt it was cool and okay to get up and be all aggressive. And we're going to give Todd an F. We're going to give Heath an F. I don't think Ralph was there, right? Because Ralph and
no, Ralph was there.
Ralph was there. Well, Ralph is getting an F too. Because you should have checked that man and said, yo, I understand you upset, but don't be talking to another lady like that. But they all sat there and let it happen. And I think that was messy too. Just my opinion, right? And sometimes we got to agree to disagree. So we're about to close out. I want to thank y'all for coming through. But you know how we do. We're going to go around. Smoke, what are your overall final words and last thoughts?
I just can't wait to see how this presentation is going to go for Chateau Thelma, Chateau She Can't Pay, Chateau I'm waiting on 7 figures. I'm really hoping that third time is the charm for Shereé Whitfield, because if not, we're going to start the GoFundMe, the collection plate, whatever we need to do. And this panel, we will put up She by Shereé and give it the just due it has deserved for a long, long time.
Okay. Leslie, yes, please email me because I'm going to the mailbox tomorrow and I want to mail you a book. It's Chronicles. I don't even know my own email. It's chroniclesgrayhead@gmail.com. chroniclesgrayhead@gmail.com. All right. So email me so we can get you your book that you want. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Thank you, Smoke, for that. E, what's your final words?
My final words, I guess I'll make it about Shereé, since that's the last thing I heard. Shereé deserves no success. Shereé is chasing behind Martell. She's just trying to swap out and get Melody's and Arion's position. If She by Shereé was destined to be successful, she would have done it in February, this past February, when they'd had the fashion show. It's about to be fall for real, okay? So you missed the spring, you missed the summer. Now we're going into fall and there are no joggers here. I'm not interested in Shereé. I will not be helping with her donation. She probably won't even have Chateau Shereé for much longer. It's going to be Chateau Holt, because Martell is going to swindle her out of that property because he's going to have to pay his back child support. The only people I like on the show are going to be Kenya and Kandi, and Drew is kind of, she's working on me just a bit where I'm liking her just a little bit. I'm interested in the reunion. And so, Diva, I will definitely be back and we're going to chop it up.
Oh, I hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Curse. Sin City, what's your final words?
September is around the corner and She by Shereé will not be here then either. I'm hoping she will try to at least, I mean, Bitch, I'm Worldwide came out in a flash. Can we at least get some t-shirts that say She by Martell or something? Or can she sell his wine on her website? I mean, you got the whole website and you're not selling anything. Girl, you're not about your money. I don't get it. She has no hustle in her. None
whatsoever. And to think that she was seriously trying to say that she already dropped $1 million and you have no fashion. This is going to be crazy. I'm interested to see what's actually going to happen at this this presentation. Because remember, she changed the wording. She said it was going to be a presentation. I'm $1 million for a presentation. Are you kidding me right now?
She was stuttering. She said $1 million coins, not dollars. $1 million coins.
Are these Mario coins?
Because that woman called her out. She said, "You want real models, then you need a budget for real models. You don't have one."
Come on now. Listen. Come on.
So, Gabor, how do you want to close this out?
Oh, Diva. I just feel like that if we're gonna bring Marlo and Sanya on the show, and we got Kandi being the personality of the show, Kandi is the personality. Just cancel the show. Leave on the high. You know, this season has not been good. Kandi said that the show was good. It's not a good show to watch. Everything seems forced. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a good show to watch. I could do without it.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they're actually going to save it with Portia coming back? You're like, that's a no.
I mean, all Portia gonna do is sleep with strippers. I mean, you know what I'm saying? She's not gonna do nothing worthwhile. All she gonna do is sleep with strippers and have threesomes and lie about it.
No, listen. She's good now. She seems to. I didn't think she was going to be with her man as long as she has been with him. I really didn't.
Well, we gotta wait till he run out of money. We gotta spend the $40 million, right?
They've been engaged for almost 2 to 3 years now, Diva. How long before the wedding?
Listen, I thought they was going to wait until her show comes up. Allegedly, that's where the wedding's going to happen. I personally think she's still in love with her baby daddy. I really do. But I think because she likes, to be stable, and he's a wild card, the baby daddy. And, Simon seems to be pretty much stable. Like he's good with just, his one woman and just living his best life that way. I think that the stability is what she wants.
But he dropped them in a minute, though. He dropped them in a minute because he dropped that girl. He dropped Fallon like she was yesterday's trash.
And had a moving truck ready for the next day.
I think he dropped Fallon because I think it was truly true that Fallon, because you can't, like, that baby came out. She had a baby like Phaedra did. Like the math was off. You know what I mean? Phaedra was like, she wasn't pregnant before she got married. And I don't know what the big deal was because she ended up getting married anyway. But remember, she was like, she didn't even know her own due date. Now, come on. Phaedra's too smart for that. So,
smart
Fallon,
Diva. That's a strong word.
Phaedra,
she's manipulative, but she ain't smart.
That's a peep. She did that because she didn't want to embarrass her family.
Right.
You know what though? I think true all of that, but Fallon was pregnant way before she told us she was pregnant.
Right.
But not way before Portia jumped in.
Yeah, she was.
I think she was.
She was.
I bet she wasn't.
And I think when she went on up and Adam, right? If that's saying the name right, I think she was pregnant when she was sitting there telling them lies then.
She was lying.
Yeah. I think
she was pregnant then, but the divorce Portia had already got in the middle of their mess.
Yeah, but I think the foundation of their relationship was very weak for Portia to be able to come in and get in the mess like that.
I tell you what, Simon's gonna marry Portia when She by Shereé comes out.
See, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. Listen, guys, thank you.
How much money you want to put on it? Let's put some money on it.
Okay, you know what? Okay, no, you know what? Okay, that's how you want to get down. We can get down like that.
Yes,
we can get down like that. So listen, I love Starbucks.
Me too.
We are gonna. You do too?
Oh yeah.
Oh well, there you go. There you go. Listen, we're going to bet at Starbucks. Now, this is in front of everybody.
If you lose, I'm going to send you a nice Starbucks cup.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Do y'all hear this, everyone?
I hear.
So if you mean if I win, you're going to send me a nice Starbucks cup. So if I lose, what do I have to send you?
A gift card for Starbucks.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a gift card to Starbucks. Y'all hearing this, everybody? The bet is on. The bet is on. She's going to get married. She's going to get married to Simon on this debacle of a show that they have. Portia Family Matters
with no family present.
I don't know. Is the show going to be filmed in Africa? Because listen, an African wedding.
She's going to have several weddings, even though she's still in love with Dennis. I'm telling you, I really do believe she's still in love with Dennis, but it's going to happen.
Diva, I've been meaning to tell you, you know her aunt. What's her aunt? The auntie?
Darlene.
No. Is it Darlene?
The one who's like, thank you, Jesus, and it was falling out?
Yes.
Darlene.
The one that's she's also an actress?
Oh, no. The one who has the foundation. I know who you're talking about.
Right. She is married to an African and has been for over almost 30 years.
Wow.
And he's an actor. He's a well-known actor too.
Wow, okay.
You just probably don't know that he's African.
See, that's even confirmation that I'm about to get my cup in the mail.
Oh, girl, please.
The family
that's Liz. That's Aunt Liz. That's Aunt Liz. That's a whole different generation. Portia's from a whole different generation. She's in the now generation. What can she get right now?
Portia likes money, though. Dennis even said it. Portia likes money.
She likes stuff.
She likes stuff. She does. She likes her toys. She likes her things. So this wedding is gonna happen. I can't wait to get my cup, and I'm gonna be drinking out of it in the live once it arrives. I'm gonna be drinking out of my cup. Okay.
And I'm gonna be drinking my Starbucks when you lose.
Oh my God.
Listen, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow night with what is it? Married to Medicine.
Ooh, that was good.
Married to Medicine. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be back with
I was gonna say too before we go. I said for me the funniest part of the episode last night, we talked about this, the table moment. The funniest part for me is that if no matter how successful Kandi is, that if she's mad at you, give her some fried chicken, as long as it's not fried at the old lady's game.
And that's a stereotype.
You know what? Because if you do, she will forgive you. Because that's what Marlo said, and she sort of said that at the after. She said,
that was hilarious.
The fried chicken was not at the old lady game, and she loved it, and that was how we fix our friendship. So
listen, you know what they say? A little bit of food will solve everything, right? A little bit of food and conversation and solve everything. Just like, listen, guys, when I get my Starbucks cup, that tea is going to solve everything, okay?
I love it.
What's your favorite
All right, guys. Listen, take care. See y'all tomorrow night. Have a good one.
Like, subscribe, comment.
Bye.
Oh, listen, everybody, before I go, listen, I forgot. Let me mention this real quick. Curves have a channel. Go follow Curves. Larger Curves, like exactly how her name is spelled.
Yeah.
That's where you can find a channel. Gabor has a channel. Follow Gabor. He's crazy, okay? Yes, follow Gabor on his channel. And I think that's everybody who came up on the panel tonight that has a channel. So please, guys, go subscribe. Go follow them. They have great content. And I'll see y'all next time. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.